Hello everyone and welcome back to Tales of Grace's F Remastered with Chaos Counseling. Hold on, let me play with... Okay, I just turned the game audio up a tick. Let's see how that sounds. Yes, I believe that is a better balance. So we are going to go with that. So, quick recap. We beat the main story last time. We tried to do some post-game stuff, specifically the zone cage, but despite the ×5 multiplier for experience, we were getting creamed, so I looked up, we can actually do the... I've been calling it the F arc, but turns out that's not actually really what it's called, but I don't care. What's what I'm looking for? I found out that we could do the bonus story and then go back and do the zone cage and see, like, the cameo characters. So that's probably what we're going to do. So for those, just a quick reminder, this game was initially released on the Wii. That's why the story is so rushed and the game is relatively short. So this game was ported to the PlayStation 3 as Tales of Grace's F. They added a bonus story that takes place after the main story that expands upon the characters, the world, and the story. That is what we are currently in. So... with that out of the way, let's get back to it. I don't actually definitively remember where we're supposed to go. Here we go. Sorry, we kind of just started it last time just because... whatever. But, so yeah, I didn't 100% remember. Like, I know we did, like, the barest minimum in regards to the actual story. I think we saw, like, the opening cutscene and whatnot. I do appreciate, from both a world-building standpoint, as well as just an experience standpoint, that the Nova monsters that replaced the normal monsters after Lambda built their cocoon at World's Eye are still there. Because, again, as those monsters were just created by Lambda, but not directly controlled by them. Well, I mean, I suppose he could control them, but... their life, well, even if their life force was tied to them, Lambda's still alive, so they wouldn't just disappear. And well, I don't think he can control them, and well, again, even if he could, Lambda's hibernating right now. Speaking of Nova monsters. So I'm not gonna lie, monsters with kind of like this design permeate throughout a lot of Tales games. You know, where they kind of have like a humanoid demon top, but then they don't have like proper legs and whatnot. I used to hate the way these things looked as a kid. Like, I remember specifically, like, in Tales of Symphonia, Sheena had some like monsters that would fight with her that were kind of like guardian spirits she summoned, or I don't remember exactly 100% what they were. I used to hate their design as a kid. Now these are usually some of my favorite designs out of the monsters in the Tales games. I don't know why. There's just something about them that just looks good to me.
No one can stand before my blade.
Oh yeah, I guess I could change... well, no, I don't mind the books I have equipped right now in the Elf Mixer.
You saved my life. Are you hurt? No, I'm fine, but the soldiers...
yeah, we'll take care of them.
Bailey, can your men take him back to Lont? Right away, sir.
Yeah, just leave the guy who's on the ground bleeding out. I know we're healing him, but yeah, we'll just let him walk back alone because we're protagonists. We got better shit we gotta do.
These monsters have become more active of late.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Each week seems to bring more of them.
Yep.
I was hoping they died down for good.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we don't got that kind of luck.
Security on the high roads. We can't afford for anyone else to be hurt. Yes, my lord. I'll send more guards right away.
Will do, and I appreciate it.
I hope this is the last of it.
No, there's still plenty of monsters.
Come on, Sophie. Let's go back. Something wrong?
So yeah, and something I kind of said, the story in this arc is more about Sophie. Like, yes, Asbel's still the protagonist, but this is more of an arc for Sophie. And kind of Asbel and Lambda, but the main focus is still on Sophie.
Okay, then.
Because, like, again, for those who missed the last stream, the F arc begins with the Sopharias that Sophie planted at the beginning of the normal game dying. Because, well, they're flowers. So Sophie is now really trying to come to terms with the fact that, well, Asbel's mortal and she isn't. So we are, I know it's a terror cliche, I suppose, but Sophie's arc in this game, in this story is, will I forever be alone? Because again, Asbel will die of old age, but Sophie will not. It's nothing necessarily new per se. And like I said, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but I do really like how this game goes about it. Like I said, because this was kind of added to like when the game was ported to better hardware, I think, well, again, this story is not like the length of a full game or anything like that. They were able to give it a little more TLC than what the base game was able to get in its entirety. Since again, the base game had to be released on weaker hardware at the time, while still looking as good as Vesperia. Also, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure this game, along with Tales of Symphonia 2, because they both released on the Wii, were rushed. Can I prove it? No. But that's just what my common sense tells me is what happened.
Yeah? What is it?
Are you going to die too?
Am I... what?
Will you go away forever, like your father did? If I protect you, will that keep you alive?
Oh, that's... Thanks, Sophie. But dying is something you can't do much about. I could catch some disease or trip and fall down the stairs, or anything, you know?
I do appreciate your honesty, Asbel, but you're not fully seeing what she's worried about.
Even if I live a long life, my time's still going to end eventually. But you don't have to worry. That's probably decades away.
But that's nothing. Not when time passes so quickly. It wasn't so long ago that you used to be shorter than me. And you were a much slower runner than you are now. But I'm still the same. I haven't changed in years.
I mean, again, you didn't have a physical form for most of those years, so you don't know. You could still potentially age. I mean, I think that was the implication when the game, like in the base game, is that, yeah, she didn't age for 7 years, but after everything that went down, she did start assuming a normal life, but then the F arc decided, let's build upon that. But I digress.
Is it because I'm different from everyone?
The point is, we do know, as we did see in the end scene in the base game, yes, Sophie does eventually start growing. And that, well, okay, that will actually happen in the... So I don't want to fully spoil it, but we'll get there.
Will I be left behind because I'm not human?
Sophie.
Also, what's going to happen to Lambda in this?
I'm sorry, Asbel. I'll see you at home.
We are at home, but okay. See, I've always wondered, because even in the F arc, they don't fully explain what's going to happen to Lambda after Asbel dies. So it makes me wonder, does Lambda kind of become something like Dark from, what's it called? I do love that Sophie did kind of let the Sopherias take over the garden. I do think it's funny. Where, like, when Asbel dies, Lambda will move over into the body of one of his kids, and
I
so
do
on
not
and so
wish to
forth.
pry, Lord Asbel, but did you and Sophie have a fight? She fled straight to her room the moment she came home.
Sophie.
Oh, and this arrived while you were out. It's from King Richard.
I do love the fact that he has to hold this fucking letter on a tray.
Could you get Bailey for me, Frederick?
Right away, sir.
What did it say?
It's about the recent increase in monster attacks. Apparently the same thing is happening in Windor, Strata, and Fendel.
Then it's worse than we thought.
Looks like it.
Do you have a plan, sir?
Richard thinks he's found one of the monster's nests. He's convinced all 3 countries to join forces and destroy it.
That's impressive, considering... Yes, I know Richard was being possessed by Lambda, but this is still technically... He is still largely responsible for the Elethal being
So
absorbed.
the letter was a request for your assistance.
Yes, which means I'll be leaving Lant for a while.
Then I wish you safe travels, Lord Asbel. I will watch over things in your absence.
I do... It's minor and it's not much, but I do appreciate how far Bailey has come in terms of not hating Asbel.
Thank you, Bailey. I'll head for the capital tomorrow.
Understood.
Will you be taking Sophie with you, Master Asbel?
I'd like to, but I'm not sure how she's feeling.
I also appreciate that Asbel not saying, no, I'm not, she's, you know, she's in a mood. He's just simply saying, I'd like to, but it's kind of up to her. I know. I'm highlighting stupid things that I do like, but so often you don't see characters written like real characters, you know? So I guess I'm just... I don't know. I'm just...
Alright. I guess it's finally time that I go clean up my desk. Might as well take a look at these marriage proposals Mom left behind as well. At least I can tell her later that I looked through them.
True.
Let's see. Anise Tatlin, 13 years old.
Ew.
She's just a kid.
I know that that's how old nobles got married back in medieval times, but you don't need to include that in your fantasy and RPG. We literally dealt with a life form that, again, I still don't fully know where Lambda came from, that inhabited a robot body of a little boy that physically could absorb the life-giving essence from the core of the planet while spawning monsters. Realism is not my biggest priority at the moment, Japan!
But that's funny. She kind of reminds me of Sheria when she was that age.
Stop it.
What about this one? Natalie Fletcher, 19 years old. Nurturing and responsible. Enjoys caring for orphan children. Hey, that sounds like something Sheria would do.
Ahem! Subtlety! It comes to die here.
I don't know. This doesn't feel right for some reason.
Yes, because thou art in love with the share of the Propose to her and settle down. You can't do any worse than that fucking creep. I completely forget his name. The guy who tried to murder her, and then became a simp. You just do it. Do it. You know, I'm kind of curious why there's not, like, more, like, family pictures, if you know what I mean. When I say family pictures, because, like, we have the family portrait, but why aren't there more paintings from, like, past Lords of Lant and pictures of grandparents and whatnot, you know? I know I'm probably reading too much into this, but I don't know. I just... I just want to make sure I don't miss, like, any fun little encounters or anything like that, you know? Alright. I think Sophie might have run away at this point. If I'm remembering the...
Come on, Sophie. Let's get going.
What part of giving her a choice, douche
Sophie?
canoodle? I mean, I understand Asbel's
Are
point
you hiding? Come
of
on.
view because he promised Sophie he'd be with her for the rest of his life. So just assuming she's going to come, I could see as being an extension of that.
Lord Asbel, if you're looking for Sophie, she left some time ago.
What? Did she say where she was going?
No, I'm afraid not, my lord. Isn't it a little early in the morning for all this racket?
What the fuck do you mean all this racket?
Sophie's gone.
Well, don't panic. She probably decided to visit a flower meadow or something of that nature.
Stop downplaying
Leave
this,
finding
Mom.
Sophie to us. Right now, you should head to the capital.
I would say capital idea for the sake of the pun, but...
Sir, daylight is wasting. I promise to devote all our efforts to finding her.
I trust you more than my mom,
I just-
Frederick.
It would not be good to keep King Richard waiting, my lord.
You're right, of course. Okay, I'm counting on you.
Yes, sir.
Not you, Mom. I'm counting on Frederick. Sorry.
Asbel,
I don't want to hate Lady Carrie, but
do think about meeting with at least one young bridal prospect when you return.
Mom, I told you.
Unless, of course, your resistance is because you have someone in mind already.
yes, but
No,
Asbel won't admit
that's
that.
Not, I mean, maybe I do, but maybe I don't know.
So indecisive. This is one of the most important decisions you will ever make.
I don't disagree, so don't rush him into it! Again, I do understand.
So if you have your eye on someone already, I'll burn those other proposals myself.
Can we please talk about this later? I need to go.
Look, I want to be clear, especially since we got the backstory behind Carrie and Lord Aston's meeting. And they were literally an arranged marriage, and Aston wasn't exact. Well, I have very mixed feelings about the relationship between Asbel's parents and whatever. I don't know. Again, Asbel's parents are not my favorite characters in this franchise. I don't hate them, but they are not my favorite character. Well, they're not my favorite characters in this franchise. It's as simple as that. I'm mildly curious to see if it'll let me actually go to the flower meadow. You know, since I've already promised myself that I think the next Tales game I'm going to stream is the one I hate more than any other video game on the planet. Okay, again, to be fair, Tales Symphonia 2 is worse because that game's actually offensive. It's just, I really hate Tales of Vesperia for a lot of other reasons. But part of me keeps wondering, I'm like, should I stream Tales of Symphonia 2 just for completion since I've streamed so many others? And would it be kind of amusingly sick if I did that? But at the same time, I'm like, the character assassination in that game is so bad. I just don't want to give that game any attention, you know? Because Lloyd from Tales Symphonia is my absolute favorite fictional character of all time. He legitimately changed my life and I think was a big reason for the person I became. So it just kind of breaks my heart to see what they did to him in that sequel.
That was hardly worth dirtying my blade.
It's just, it has the monster catching mechanics really fun.
Won't take long. Okay.
Now then again, Marta and Emil are insufferable.
No one can stand before my blade.
So yeah, it's got character assassination. The new protagonists just suck. Yeah, I talked myself out of it again. Yeah, I never even thought to climb back down there. And I guess since, yeah, I was down there during the kid prologue, it makes sense why they probably reset some stuff, you know? Since it was technically not part of the main game, since the game is broken into 3 distinct arcs. The kid arc, the main body of the game, and then again, I think it's called like Leagues and Legacy or whatever, or Lineage and Legacy or whatever. I'm gonna just keep calling it the F arc, since again, it was created for Tales of Grace's F, not the original Tales of Grace's. Tales of Grace's F. So it was the bonus story added for the F version of the game. So that's just what I've always called it. That's what I'm going to continue to call it, even if I know that's wrong. Just because, yeah. I know. I probably shouldn't do that, because I had to kind of yell at a number of patients and employees when I used to be a cook about how it's like, look, if you want to place a food order, you cannot use personal slang to place an order, because your servers are not going to know what the fuck you're talking about. And at the same time, I feel this is a hair different.
I have to admit, traveling solo like this is kind of lonely. I
Since
can't remember the last time I walked out here without someone
outright
by
trying
my
to
side.
convey information to someone else. So I think just calling it the F arc,
No funny
I don't know.
stories
I'm now
from
contemplating that,
Pascal.
because I don't want to be like,
No
oh, well,
tall tales
the
from the
rules don't
captain.
apply to me, if you know what I mean.
No snappy retorts from Sharia or Hubert. Just doesn't feel right being here without them. Even Sophie. Sophie. Wait a minute. Do I always talk to myself like this?
I don't know. You have literally never actually been alone at any point in this game before right now. Not counting the bits like the whole party like splits. And they're all still in the same area. It's just they're not in the party. Because like in the kid arc, you were always with Hubert or Sophie. After that, well, no. Yeah, and then at the start of the adult arc, you were with Malik, then you were with Sharia, and then Sharia and Sophie. And then Sophie was with you after you were kicked out of Want. Yeah, no. Then it was Sophie and Rich. Yeah, no. Honestly, I wouldn't know, Asbel, because this legitimately is the first time in the entire game that you have truly been alone.
Hardly worth dirtying my blade.
Like I said, it's not the first time he's been like the only character in the party, because Sharia wasn't playable for the first little bit at the start of the game, because it was meant to be a surprise that she was fully capable of kicking ass, given how sickly she used to be. But yeah, no, this is the first. Also, not counting the, not counting when Asbel was in the tower, when I was doing the fights in the tower by myself, because again, the companions were in the area even if they weren't in the party. So yeah, no, actually that's, I know it's not anything deeply thought-provoking or transformative, but it is kind of interesting, because I think this might be the only Tales game that I can think of where the main character really isn't alone at any major point during the main story anyway. It's like in Symphonia, sure, you start with Genus and Colette, and then Kratos joins for the first dungeon, but then you do have like that whole, that the entire Renegade base, you're completely alone as Lloyd, and there's a couple other instances of separation, not a ton, because again, it's an RPG. They're like, we're not gonna completely strip away your companions, because my God, we do not want to make you suffer or whatever. But still, it is just, yeah. Like Yuri in particular, fuck that guy. He's alone a lot in Tales of Vesperia. I don't actually. Luke from Tales of the Abyss might not be alone a ton either. But given that he is a wee bit sheltered, that actually makes sense. No, I'm like really thinking about this. Let's see, Core from Tales of Hearts is only really alone for like the very, very, very beginning of the game, because so much of the story does revolve around helping Kohaku. So he's not far from the other members of his party. And I'll actually... Alphen from Arise, you're kind of alone for a bit, but I think you get a party member like really quickly. So I do have a hair difficulty counting that one as being alone for a good amount of time. Probably should, if I'm being perfectly honest. And then Berseria and Zestiria. The main character's only alone for the, like, well, no, Berseria, you're alone for, like, the stuff before Artorias stabs us in the back. And then you're alone for a good chunk of the dungeon until Magilu and Rokuro join up with you. Zestiria... Let's see, you're alone for a bit, then Alicia joins you, then Alicia leaves, then Mikleo joins you, so it's like, yeah, there are some bits of isolation, but they're brief. Haven't played enough of the Gendia or Fantasia to have an opinion on that one, since I really can't say I've truly played those games. Oh. Oh. Huh. Sorry, I actually closed most of these because I thought I'd already done all of these. So sorry, I'm just pulling it back up. Jeez. It's, by the sound of it, I mean, I didn't even think to come up here and check, if I'm being perfectly frank, but it sounds like I was supposed to get this one all the way back. Sorry, I just want to see. I didn't actually. I was like an idiot. Oh, okay, I don't need that. I have plenty of money. That might have been helpful earlier in the game. Well, no, because I had like that DLC money pack, so I didn't. You know what? It's fine. It's fine that I missed it earlier. It did not harshly affect my experience with this game whatsoever. Yeah, Zelia, especially if you play as especially if you play as Mila, there are plenty of instances where the main character's completely alone. Then Zelia 2, yeah, there's well, no, I would say Luger from Zelia 2 is almost never alone, but that's because he's often, like, she's not a playable character, but he's almost always with L, which, yeah, that makes sense, since I don't want to spoil it because I really am hoping that they'll remake Tales of Zelia 2 and, well, both Zelia games on modern hardware so I can stream them. Especially since, honestly, Zelia and Zelia 2 are almost masterpieces, in my opinion. In fact, Zelia 2, if it wasn't for two minor hiccups, it would be a 10 out of 10 game, in my opinion, and it would be, without question, the best game in the Tales series, bar none, no questions asked. I will fight you on this. But those two things do hold it back. But, yeah, due to the fact that a central theme, for lack of a better word, in Zelia is kind of like... So, Luger, you know, he lives with his brother in a city, and he fails an entrance exam to work with his brother in the company his brother works for. So he ends up having to, you know, take a job just as a cook in a cafeteria. But on the way to take his new job, he ends up, due to convoluted reasons, but that's fine, ends up kind of getting stuck with a girl named Elle. And he basically ends up just kind of having to be her guardian throughout most of the game, even if, you know, she has a dad, but she doesn't know where her dad is. But yeah, the game purposely plays up kind of a father-daughter role between these two. So yeah, Luger's never really far from Elle, but that's kind of the point. So if he was far from Elle, yeah, it's again, it would defeat the point of the general theme of that game. Plus, Luger is a borderline silent protagonist in Tales of Xillia, because they were experimenting with trying to give the players a bit more of a avatar, shall we say. So Luger, like, you can actually, once you've beaten the main game, you can unlock a feature where Luger will actually, because like you're given, anytime Luger needs to speak, you're given dialogue choices. And whatever you choose is what Luger says, even if it's not said out loud. But if you beat the game once and then purchase the bonus, like New Game Plus feature, Luger then will say all the dialogue options out loud in the second playthrough. So I say he's a silent protagonist, and he is to an extent, but there is still a way to hear him fully voice acted. He is just meant to be a hair more of a player insert than other past protagonists. Now, again, that's not to say he's like a complete blank slate compared to something like, say, the Warden from Dragon Age Origins, or I mean, even someone like, he probably has just as much, if not more, personality than, say, Shepard. No, that from Mass Effect, even though Shepard is technically likewise a avatar character that does talk out loud. I guess what I'm trying to get at is that, well, yeah, he is technically on paper a bland character, but I like Luger. Luger is a very likable character. In fact, Luger is one of the reasons why Xillia 2 is so damn good. Like, again, he's not my favorite protagonist. That'll always go to Lloyd, followed by Asbel, then either Velvet or Core, and then I'd put Luger. Okay, again, that has to be Kratos, or at least based on a, because like that's Kratos' hairstyle, that's Kratos' chest, shirt. It's just he's beefier and derpy looking, but yeah, that has to be a tongue-in-cheek nod to Kratos. Okay. I was just mildly curious. I couldn't remember if we could explore more of the Knights Academy like in this version of the game. Actually, I'm also curious. Okay, I didn't think so, but it just occurred to me because there's basically like a Sword in the Stone motif right there. Like, is that like a secret weapon side quest? Sorry, what was your name again? Raymond. Right. You're the dick cheese that threatened Sharia and then had the balls to propose to her. I mean, it depends on... I mean, Asbel's almost 20, so is that Is he underage? But is this going off American standards or European standards? Which, I'm just going to throw this out there. That's kind of irresponsible of Malik, because at the beginning of the game, when Asbel was about to graduate from the academy, Malik's like, hey, if you want to come to my favorite bar, it's like, because Asbel would have been like would have only been 18, going on 19, since he's 19 going on 20 in this arc. Why were you just inviting him to be the designated driver, Malik? Because Asbel certainly couldn't have had anything to drink. Also, the bar was just down the road from the academy. You didn't need a designated driver, man. Right. Also, you guys don't have a car. Like, I really want to stress that. Right. I don't have access to the shuttle, wait. I still had access to the shuttle. I could have fast traveled here. Well, I would like to apologize for wasting everybody in the chat's time. No, just curious. I don't remember if we have to come down here again, but let's get on with this. I'll stop jerking you guys around. Let's get on with the story. And that's the highway up there, so I don't need to go. That'll take me back to the forest. I think the only thing up that road is that forest that was where we were at the start of the adult story. Where we found, what was his name, Bryce?
Hello, Asbel. It's so nice to see you again.
My love interest.
Sharia!
The fuck?
Wait a minute. What's the matter with you?
He's thinking about marriage.
I didn't expect to see you here, that's all.
Okay, Asbel looks like
King
he's
Richard has asked our
stoned.
relief organization for assistance.
Is that so? Well, I'm sure you'll be a huge help.
Dude, you realize not looking at her is not going to cover up your boner, right?
Why are you acting so weird?
Okay.
It's nothing.
Okay, I know this. I
So,
remember this one was way
how's
more
the relief
humorous
work
than the main
going
story, but I
anyway?
forgot about the slapstick.
We've been running ragged lately. People need our help more than ever. I've lost count of how many times I've visited Strata and Fendel.
That busy, huh? So does that mean that the monster attacks continue to keep on increasing?
We're at our busiest when times are bad. It's been pretty difficult. Honestly, I'd happily lose my job if it meant things were peaceful again. So where's Sophie? Why isn't she here?
Well, she...
Tell me the truth. She's not sick, is she?
No, she's fine, but she...
Lord Asbel, Miss Sharia,
All right.
thank you both so much for
It's
coming.
still so weird you were never a full-on villain. Just a dick.
It's good to see you again, Duke Dallin.
His Highness is waiting in the throne room. Right this way, please.
Because again, Dallin really does look like he should be a bad guy. Yes, I'm profiling, but fuck it, I don't care. He does really, based on, you know, easy to grasp fantasy tropes, he does look like he should have been evil. Like I said, he was kind of a dick. He was the one who forced a wedge between Richard and Asbel, but he wasn't evil. Oh, I'm sure that's right. Richard also gets a new outfit. And I think that's to make up for the fact that, like, he gets less costumes because he was only in part of the core game. And yeah, Richard is playable, I think, for almost the entirety of this arc to make up for how little he was in the base game.
Asbel, Sharia, thank you for coming.
What is it, Richard?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
He was probably also surprised Sophie wasn't here.
I'm sorry, Asbel. You came here despite all that's going on right now.
It's no trouble at all. I'm always ready to help you.
Always ready to help out. You haven't changed at all. All of this was in no small way all my fault.
Yeah, but I would say the real
However,
villain here was still
getting rid of
Emerald.
these monsters is the best way I can think of.
Because had
to make
she not
amends.
done that to Lambda,
And yet it seems that I
Lambda would never have
can't
felt
even do
the
that
need to
without
possess you.
your assistance.
It's all right.
Apologies for the delay, Your Highness.
Right. You know, it's a shame Malik doesn't have a new costume to reflect being part of the Fendel army, you know? I mean, not that I need everyone to get a new outfit for this arc, but
It's good
given
to
how
see
well
you again,
Hubert
Captain.
fits the Strata army,
And you as well, Hubert. Now we just
I don't know,
need
it would've been
Pascal,
nice.
and our merry gang will be complete once again.
Sophie.
Wasn't Pascal supposed to accompany you, Captain?
Yes, I waited for her at the harbor, but she never showed up.
That girl never changes. I swear. What's she doing now?
Well, most of us have gathered, so let's go ahead and begin.
In the last month, monster attacks have been occurring in Strata with greater frequency.
It's the same in Fendel. We have fewer monsters, but each seems to do more damage than the last.
A familiar story. We and Windor share the same problem.
Do we know what's causing this?
We've been looking into it, but so far have learned nothing. However, we also know that King Richard has located one of their nests.
Recently, some of my knights stumbled onto an ancient underground ruin in the area near Glowandi. The place was crawling with creatures spawned from Lambda.
I knew the foul beasts had to be hiding somewhere.
An underground nest? It's worth investigating at least.
And if we can destroy it altogether, it should help cut down on the number of monster attacks.
The ruins appear to be of a Marcian origin.
So that's why you wanted Pascal. It's indeed unfortunate that she didn't make it.
Unfortunate, but not critical. We'll just have to investigate without her.
Yeah, but then when you encounter a Marcian tech and none of you know how to use it, then it will be critical.
I suppose so. By the way, Asbel, where's Sophie?
She's... Actually, let's talk about that later. Right now we should focus on the ruins.
Asbel,
I mean, he has a point. That is a much more personal
Very
question.
well. With your permission, Highness, we shall strike out immediately.
The entrance to the ruins is in the catacombs beneath Verona. Let's get going.
Let's see. Richard, obviously. Now, I don't know how many more titles he needs to earn, like, via combat, if you know what I mean. So that gets him... That's his new King of Windor outfit. Probably want Malik in the party, just since I'm pretty sure he still doesn't have a ton. Sorry, Hubert. I'm going to use Richard and Malik for now. Here, I just want to make sure that you're actually... No, you are not wearing your new outfit, by the way. What else did you get again? I forgot. Yeah. I'm surprised that... I mean, I get it because he's blonde, so... wait, no, Zelops isn't blonde. He's got pink hair. I'm genuinely surprised, because this is I think the character's name is Judas, but I'm also surprised his other outfit isn't Leon's outfit. Yes, I know Judas and Leon are the same character. Spoilers, sorry. I know I haven't played Tales of Destiny or Tales of Destiny 2, and I know that plot twist, but...
It's been too long, Asbel.
I know, it's been a while. It's good to see all of you guys again.
It's good to see you as well.
Likewise, it seems I've seen these two more than my own brother lately.
Wait, you have?
Hubert is in charge of Strata's Nova Monster Eradication Force. I've seen him at the Tri-Nation conferences.
My responsibilities have also taken me to Fendel, where Captain Malik has been of great assistance.
As the Chancellor's envoy, I've had chances to meet with King Richard on many occasions.
Hold on, seriously? And you guys never invited me?
Come now, Asbel. These are hardly social calls.
He has a point, Asbel. Like, he really does have a point, but I also understand why it would have been like, I would have loved to have seen you guys. I do find it interesting we had to go here, because I'm pretty sure we could have... Well, then again, I think they locked up the... I think the game locked up the rest of the castle. We only had access to it briefly during the invasion. But I do find it interesting that we can't get into the catacombs from the castle, because again, I know that's a thing you can do. But instead they are making us come this way. Again, not that I strictly mind, it's just... I don't know, just, it's something that crossed my brain. Sorry, I want to explore a bit since chests are a thing down here again. So yeah, it's got some of the original monsters.
You're not doing so bad there yourself.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe they're all... Maybe these are all weaker monsters. That takes me to the ruins. Oh.
The relief organization must be tough work.
Yes, but it's also quite rewarding. And after all the hard work, it got me thinking about the past. It's a little late, but I finally understand how you felt when you decided to become a knight 7 years ago.
Her mouth animation glitched, I think.
Do?
You wanted to get stronger so you could protect your friends.
Yeah, you're right.
So will you support me?
Of course. Give it your best.
I will.
The phrase, men surrender their ideals in adolescence, women pursue them in maturity, comes to mind.
Wise words. Who spoke them?
The one and only M. Caesar.
I've heard that name before. Wait, that's your name.
Like I said, the comedy in this arc is dialed up to a million, and I love it.
This won't take long. No one can stand before my blade.
Yeah, again, sorry, I am just idiot checking everything. Okay, no, there's no more chest down that way. That just leads out.
We won't fail.
Because, like, I really hope that we get this skit, but there's a couple knee-slapping scenes between Richard and Malik, and I can't wait to get to those, because they just when I first played through this back on the PlayStation 3, it split my sides. I just thought they were that funny. Because it shows both a lighter side for both Malik and Richard, but it also kind of shows that despite Malik being like, oh, I'm the grizzled old wise, blah, 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 he's kind of out of touch at the same time, and it's so funny. Huh. Okay, no, we could... I don't see why we couldn't have come this way, but okay. Sorry, I have no idea if there's more chests to be found in the castle, but I'm going to stop dicking around and just focus.
This won't take long. Okay.
Are you all right, Sheria? Can you stand?
If only Asbel could be this kind.
The character interactions are truly what make this game so unique and so special. If I remember correctly, This is a little
I
similar.
can't believe all this is underneath Glowandi.
It's similar to the ruins
It's the
under the
first I've known
bridge.
about it.
We found a similar looking ruin beneath
Yeah.
Wallbridge, remember?
That's true. They do seem quite similar.
I imagine the Amarcians built them around the same time.
I wonder what they're for.
I'm sure Pascal would be full of theories.
Perhaps. At any rate, let's press on and see what we can learn.
I sense powerful monsters down here. Keep your wits about you.
Okay.
I've been hearing about your work from travelers. Everyone says you're doing a great job.
In Strata, King Richard is more popular than even our own president.
That's impressive, given just...
You can actually...
In Fendel,
Oh,
his
whoops.
popularity rivals that of the Chancellor.
Okay,
I'm
that
not
wasn't the
sure who is
game.
more
I
famous.
double tapped. That was my mistake. So.
Please believe me. I don't lead these monster hunts out of some mad desire for fame.
You just
My
try to make up
earlier
for it.
actions dealt a considerable amount of economic damage to both Fendel and Strata. To make restitution for those deeds, Windor has taken on massive amounts of debt, but I'm no fool. Confidence in leadership is something that no amount of money can buy.
Your popularity is manifest proof of the trust the people of this world hold for you. In truth, you're the envy of leaders everywhere.
Thank you, Malik. And yet, does that justify what's happening?
Justify what?
My retainers are selling keychains with my face on them. They make dolls in my image, and even King Richard fruit snacks, all to pay down the debt.
How shameless.
Like I said, oh man, the comedy is golden in this part of the game. Oh man, we are in for we're in for treats.
Dirtying my blade.
It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. All right, we're gonna get attacked by a monster, right?
Watch out!
Yes, we're being attacked by a monster. Nature!
Richard! How dare you?
Oh, I forgot about this. I'm going to go with Malik just due to the fact that that way I'm not playing as one of the characters who have healing abilities. Does Malik not have a Nova ability? Here we go. I'm gonna make Let's try that.
I expect the best from everyone.
Right. Right. Not, I guess. Yeah, I think most of Malik's. Okay, so I think most of Malik's B arcs are actually spells. So I've never really played as Malik. I think when I did this last, I chose to play as Hubert, just because he does have more just button mash, or at least perceivably he has more button mash abilities. See, I guess so. Like Asbel, he changes fighting style. His A arts are sword in sheath. His B arts are sword out of sheath. Whereas what's it called? Hubert, his style is swords, is like a double-sided sword versus turn them into guns. I'm pretty sure that's definitively the difference between his two styles. I don't know if Sharia might be similar in that she doesn't truly have a difference in style. Just all of her B arts are spells and the like. Pascal, I'm 90% sure like her staff can turn into a gun. I could be, don't quote me on that. I don't know if Sophie has a change. Sophie or Richard have a change in fighting style. Because this is the first time I've been definitively forced to play without Asbel. That's part of the reason why, unlike some other Tales games, I don't have a secondary character that I kind of know how to play as. Since that really was the first time in the entire game I was forced to play as anyone other than Asbel.
Yes, I'm fine.
I don't think we can get back up that way.
Shoot yourself out of a cannon.
Asbel, Richard, are you okay?
We're fine. Keep going. We'll meet you up ahead.
Okay, be careful down there.
Kinda takes you back to when we were kids, huh?
Except Sophie was with us as well.
Yeah, she was.
Asbel?
What is it?
How is Lambda doing? Has he been speaking with you or trying to manipulate you in any way?
No, he hasn't tried anything like that.
I almost killed Sophie because I carried that thing inside me.
Hey, Lambda's a he, not a thing.
If that ever
Lambda's a
happened to you,
person.
Don't worry, Richard. Sophie and I are just fine. It's true that neither of us knows what Lambda will do going forward, but living with Lambda was my decision. Whatever problems come up, I'll find a way to deal with them.
Will you go away forever, like your father did?
Okay, she was not wearing that outfit in that cutscene.
Will I be left behind because I'm not human?
Okay, I swear the game did a better job of adjusting
Whatever problems.
Sophie and Richard into their new costumes.
what's wrong?
You started talking about Lambda, so you monkey's pawed it.
Nothing.
Or
I
not monkeys,
probably
you
just
jinxed
hurt
it.
myself when we fell.
Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Come on, let's go.
And again, that's another reason I do appreciate this arc of the game, because not really spoilers. Yeah, Lambda wakes up, and we actually have to see, like, we see Asbel and Asbel and Lambda have to bounce off each other and legitimately have to find a way to work together. So it's not all fun and games. Lambda's like, okay, I put my faith in you, Asbel, but...
Ow!
That wound must be more serious than you thought.
Yeah, maybe. I sure wish Sharia was here.
Of course. You finally reunite with Sharia after a half year, only to be torn asunder once more.
Actually, that's not what I...
Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Very good friend just sent me a message.
I understand.
Yeah.
And yet, why so long? Sharia has been busy with her work, but I know she's had many occasions to return to Lant.
She's been back twice, and both times I was in important meetings with my people.
Fool! What am I going to do with you, Asbel?
You tell me.
Who is more important? The woman who comes all the way to see you, or some inconsequential vassal?
Okay, Richard, I understand you're trying to tell Asbel that Sharia's feelings are valid, but I would say technically both are equally valid.
Hey, my vassals aren't inconsequential.
You tell him, Asbel.
Clearly, I need to educate you on the many great facets of gentlemanly behavior.
Oh, good lord.
Thanks, but I'll pass.
I will admit, an argument can be made that Richard's character doesn't fully transition from the base game into this one, especially given just all the trauma he went through. He should probably be a little more brooding or something. And yeah, you're probably right, but yeah, I don't mind. You could make an argument that he's embracing the humor as much as he is just kind of a way to cope with everything that he was inadvertently.
That was impressive.
Well, I'm nowhere near your level, Asbel.
All the stuff that he inadvertently caused, you know. Also, I realized this is also the only time that it's just Richard and Asbel alone together. Because again, the entire time Richard was in the party in the base game, Sophie was there. Because yeah, I mean, outside of the bit where Sophie was quote-unquote dead, Sophie and Asbel really haven't been apart.
I hope Sharia and the others are doing all right.
I hope I don't have to play as that group again.
Hubert
Okay,
and
honestly,
Captain
Malik
Malik
wasn't
are
that
there.
bad to control.
I'm sure they're fine.
Hey, Sherry is just as much of a badass as everyone else. She was a vital contributor
Anyway,
into
this
saving the
place
world.
seems safe. Why don't we rest for a bit?
Now, I don't remember why Pascal didn't show up, because I think I only ever have I know I've beaten the main story of this game twice before
Hey,
now,
Richard,
but I don't know if I ever beat the F arc more than once.
Yes?
do you ever think about the future? I mean, decades from now?
Where'd that come from?
Sophie was talking about how I'm gonna leave her behind when I die. I told her it was decades away and she shouldn't worry about it. I mean, I hadn't even really thought about it myself,
I mean, not a lot of people do, let's be real.
but that just made her more upset. She said the years would pass in no time at all.
Is that why she isn't here?
It made me realize how differently she experiences time.
She seems so human. Sometimes I forget she won't grow old and die like the rest of us.
I've always treated her like a normal person, and I don't regret that at all. But at the same time, I haven't given the future a whole lot of thought.
Perhaps these are thoughts you should share with her instead of keeping them to yourself. If she mentioned it to you, it's likely a concern she's had for some time.
That's true.
You were able to accept Lambda's loneliness. If anyone can help Sophie with hers, it's you.
You're right. Thanks for talking to me.
You're right, I am awesome.
Happy to help. Come on. I'm sure the others are getting worried.
Yep, we had our heart-to-heart, so that was the exact amount of time that we needed to
Then let's
rest.
go.
So that a important, you know, anime heart-to-heart, that equals like a long rest in D&D. So we're stocked and we're ready to go.
It won't take long. Okay.
You can't prove that, Asbel. Oh, right, I kind of need to...
Victory is ours.
Oh, right. Now I remember. Okay, actually, yeah. This reminds me of a dungeon from
I
Symphonia.
can't make out anything from up here.
Asbel, Richard, are you okay?
We're fine. Keep going.
Okay, be careful down there.
That's my brother. Tough as a rock, if nothing else.
We should move before more monsters show up.
Okay, actually, no. I am glad we get to do this switch, because I do actually like this. All right. I have no idea if these are going to be any good, and yes, I know I was going to be kind of sticking with Malik before, but kind of want to give Hubert a spin. And honestly, if this still ends up being bad, I'll switch back to Malik. But yeah, so another thing, because again, this F-Arc was designed for the PlayStation rather than the Wii. It could be designed a little better. As a result, the dungeons in the F-Arc, for the most part, are infinitely better and more thought out than most anything in the base game. Sorry. Yeah, not that the base game was bad. Well, that was awkward. Sign is... So these are the only... Okay. Oh yeah. I love the visual of that. Because like, so far it's like, it's a double-bladed sword that can turn into a gun that also can be a bow during the Mystic Arts. I'm like, that is a level of over-the-top ridiculousness that I can get behind, damn it.
There certainly are a lot of monsters down here.
I just hope what we're doing helps to lessen the attacks on our people.
Your relief organization must have been heavily taxed recently. Are you getting enough rest?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just glad I can help somehow. I was so sick as a child, I never thought I'd be able to do anything.
Yep.
I guess I'm trying to make up for it now.
That's good for the people, but what about you? What about you and Asbel? My mother says he's been swamped with marriage proposals.
Oh?
Yeah, definitely bring that one up, Hubert.
Guys like him may be slow on the uptake, but once they make a choice, things tend to move quickly.
I love that the entire party...
So our mother can stop worrying about it.
I love how the entire party... Well, Hubert, Malik, and Richard, at the very least, are trying to play matchmaker with Asbel and Sharia throughout this. It's funny, but it's also oddly sweet.
Why don't you get married first? That might help ease her mind a little.
Well, why are we talking about me now?
Don't play dumb. We've all heard about your possible engagement to the president's daughter.
What? Really?
How do you know about that?
People talk, I listen. At this rate, you'll be the new president of Strata in no time.
Hubert, when did this happen?
It's nothing to do with me. The president brought up the idea of his own accord. And even if I did marry her, that doesn't mean I'd take over Strata. The presidency is not passed down through a bloodline. I thought you knew that.
Hey, wait up!
Kids these days.
And yeah, honestly, there's some pretty funny stuff with Hubert's love life, too.
It's a wonderful thing.
That's strange talk, coming from a lifelong bachelor.
They say that when life breaks your spirit, a wife can help to mend it. And when you find yourselves apart, you need only shut your eyes to see her again.
Until she seizes control of your life one piece at a time and you find your own hopes and dreams put on hold. You can't even spend your own salary. You have to beg permission for every little thing you want to buy. Precious belongings you've labored to collect are tossed like so much junk. And yet she thinks nothing of taking your purse and blowing all your coin on some fancy hat.
That's very specific. Have you been married before?
Even a cursory examination of the topic proves that this is the only outcome. Instead of selecting a wife who intends to live solely through her husband's station, one should seek an independent-minded woman that... Yes, well, I think I've said enough. And if you're so eager to endorse the institution of marriage, perhaps you should get married yourself.
In any case, marriage is a wonderful thing. Don't you agree, Sharia?
Sharia?
Huh? Oh, right. Marriage. Yeah, sure. You should marry someone if you want. I can't imagine doing it myself.
Sharia?
Waiting until you've completed all the things you want to do would be pretty selfish. Wouldn't it?
That is a very real question. I know that my older brother, you could argue he was definitely the smartest. He was definitely a lot smarter than I was, because I got married kind of as soon as I could, because that's kind of how we were raised. Being raised in the LDS church, there's an emphasis on getting married as fast as possible, which is not healthy, by the way. Like, honestly, one of Abby's biggest regrets is, like, she doesn't regret marrying me, but she does regret, because Abby was 19 when we got married, because that was just what was expected, you know? We were just expected to get married. But she wishes that she'd actually waited a few years before we got married, because she never had a life of her own, you know? And I think there's really is just something unfortunate about so many people feel like they're getting rushed into marriage that they don't really have time to live their own life, you know? And yeah, some people could genuinely be kind of pressured into thinking, it's like, no, don't be selfish and get married as soon as you can, because I don't know. It's complicated. Like, to quote, so I consider her a friend, even if I don't know her super well, but a friend of Abby and mine, she got married because it was expected. She married a guy who was abusive and didn't cherish her, and getting divorced from him was an absolute nightmare for her. She's remarried now. Me and Abby went to her and her wife's wedding last October. It was a beautiful ceremony, and it was really awesome to be there. But she'll often share posts. Like, she actually shared a post, at least I think it was her, who shared a post today, like, it's ridiculous that, you know, doctors can deny women, like, what's the procedure that basically boils down to removing your uterus or whatever? It's like doctors can deny women's rights to, you know, life-saving treatments that involve whatever that procedure's called, just because, well, you never know if some guy might want to use your body one day to, you know, pump a baby out or whatever. It's like, yeah. Quite frankly, women need to be given autonomy over their own bodies, quite frankly. Like, it's disgusting that men have historically been able to basically dictate what women can or cannot do, you know, what medical treatments they can or can't get.
Your skills are quite impressive.
Aren't you sweet?
I mean, heck. Said friend, like, again, I'm not naming names, I'm not giving details. They really need to, like, I think they have ovarian cysts or something like that. So they really need their ovaries removed so they're not in constant, unending, agonizing pain. But no doctor in the area they live in will give her that procedure, simply based on, despite the fact that she's married to another woman, for fuck's sake. Because it's like, well, if I do this, you can't have, then you'll never be able to have a baby. And as we all know, women's worth is determined solely by their ability to pump out kids. Sorry, I'm very, 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 very pissed off at just the state of my country right now. And I think it's showing right now. Like, I honestly... Note, like, for those who don't know, I'm kind of working on an Edgelord and Trash Dragon comic. It's very unprofessional. It's just quickly sketched out. It's not really posted anywhere other than my Instagram, and I don't know if I ever will post it anywhere other than my Instagram. But, to say the very least, I nearly drew a political cartoon today with Edgelord and Trash Dragon criticizing the American government right now. Well, not the government, the president specifically. And their fuck buddy. I made things political, and now I feel just kind of blech.
I will slay all who oppose.
Fascinating. What else are you gonna do on your free time? Yeah, sorry, I realized I'm like, oh, how are you guys doing on your titles? I haven't checked that lately. Suspicious. Gotta get over there to hit that one. Just wanted to double check. Make sure I was familiar. Okay, good. Again, this is definitely not like an amazing dungeon by any means, but I am grateful that, again, it is still designed a bit better than what was in the base game, and yeah, it has a gimmick, if you know what I mean. I'll always appreciate that. And we fly off into the nether and die horrifically. Am I backtracking? I don't think I'm backtracking because I don't remember Scorpion. No, I am not backtracking. Sorry, Mr. Scorpion. I don't feel like beating the piss out of you today. I think this is... yeah, that's backtracking. You know, I oddly enough, just for whatever reason, Sophie kind of talking about, you know, dying and being left behind by friends, it reminded me of a game, and I've mentioned it offhandedly a couple times on this channel. It's a game called Arc-Rise Fantasia. It's a game I played a little bit, but I never actually beat. Mostly because Sunshine, it's a game for the Wii. Sunshine got it when I was away at college, so I would come home, play it a little bit, and then I'd leave and be gone for like months at a time. It's part of the reason like I never was really able to beat Skyward Sword. I kind of never beat Harvest Moon Tree of Tranquility because I was just not home enough to really just sit down and bust it out, you know? But much like that game Infinite Undiscovery, which I really need to just play on my own time. I've been meaning to, but I just have too many other games to get to. But it's one I've wanted to do for the channel, partially so I could force myself to beat it. Because it's one of those underappreciated RPGs.
Yeah, we're fine.
That's not part of a series and wasn't made by a major
Sorry to make you worry.
RPG studio like Square.
I don't know what we'd do if something happened to you, King Richard.
Your concern for my well-being is touching.
That's okay, Asbel. If anything happens, I'll protect you.
Your words are wasted on me, Your Highness.
I'm only doing what you would do for me.
Hey, come on.
This reminds me of when we were kids.
Yes, it does.
I hate to break up the happy reunion, but we need to keep moving.
Thank you.
Captain, tell me, what did the three of you discuss while we were away?
Well, Sharia talked about her efforts with the relief organization, and then Hubert said he wanted Asbel to get married soon.
I see. It's hard to imagine Asbel getting married, isn't it?
Not necessarily. I can't help but think he already has a fine prospect by his side.
You speak of Sharia, I assume. But those two seem so awkward together. I fear it isn't going well.
I hear you. I think they share the same feelings, but they just keep missing each other. You know, if a rival for their love entered in the picture, it might provide the necessary motivation. Of course! That's it!
What's it?
I'll step in to play the part of the rival.
Interesting. Show me what you would say.
I love the fact that even though it's like it would make more sense for Richard to be the rival or even Hubert, but Malik's like, oh no, I'm the swap ladies man, I'll do it. Richard's just going with it.
Let's make out.
Captain!
Oh my gosh, those two are so stupid. Oh, I love it. But part of the reason I always kind of wanted to put a little highlight on Arc-Rise Fantasia is because it has some of the worst voice acting I have ever heard in any video game ever. And I kind of love it for that. Like, the voice acting is bad, like, make no mistake, but I genuinely feel like I feel the sincerity of the voice actors, if that makes any sense, if you know what I mean. So just because of that, I just kind of love it, you know? But I've never beaten it. Because again, I never played it when it was new, and then I just had other things. So I think by the time I was like home enough that I could have sat down and beaten it, I had just gotten my Xbox, so I was like balls deep in Dragon Age and Mass Effect, and that was just where my priorities were. Especially since, again, the one thing I knew about Arc-Rise Fantasia was that its voice acting was pretty damn hokey. But it's one of those things that, well, Sunshine did tell me a number of like story beats that happened in it. I've still always kind of wanted to beat it for myself and actually experience the story, you know? Because the world, from what I remember, was kind of fascinating. That being said, I was not the biggest fan in the world of the combat, from what I remember. And I even remember my older brother, who... I don't remember if my older brother beat it, but he did... Wait, am I backtracking? But he did play it, and I even remember when he was looking up some reviews of the game online, a lot of the reviews kind of complained that it was one of those games that, yeah, it's backtracking, that it was a long string of, you know, just monster fights that seemed somewhat inconsequential. Then it just gut punched you with some really, really, really difficult boss battles. But still. Again, just at the end of the day, it just ultimately boils down to I just don't have enough time in the day to play everything for the channel that I wanted to, you know? Because, like, even right now, I'm trying to decide what I want to stream next once I'm done with Graces. And I think at this point, I've kind of settled into, I know I want to stream more Tales games. I know I want to stream more Sonic games. And... Wait, what? Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Wait, what? Huh. Huh. Don't have to. That's cool. Sorry.
We could continue striking blindly towards the heart of the nest. However, we don't even know where that is.
Perhaps we should temporarily withdraw and study the matter further.
But we've come so far. A decisive attack still seems better.
Yes?
When I see the ones I trained debate their options so wisely, I can't help but suddenly feel like growing old isn't such a bad thing.
Uh-huh.
People hate growing older. Nobody wants to get closer to death. But when you see a bunch of slack-jawed kids transform into worthy adults, it really keeps your hope alive.
I see.
Perhaps the captain could offer some less melodramatic advice.
It would seem you're all still a bit too green for me to retire just yet.
Growing old isn't so bad, huh? But what happens in Sophie's case?
Sorry, I just got a notification that it was like... That just shocked me, because I'm like, I didn't think that it does. It doesn't matter. It's good news. It's nothing to worry about. I'm just... It surprised me greatly.
More monsters!
But yeah, I want to play more Sonic games. I want to play more Tales games.
There's something different about these.
I want to, like, once we're done with Edgelords doing Dragon Age Origins, I want to stream more Dragon Age games. Because, like, I'm going to continue on from where Edgelord left off. I'm not going to do the other games as Edgelord, because they talk too much for them to be an Edgelord stand-in, and unlike, say, Final Fantasy V, where Barst talked enough, or Barst did talk, but because it was all text, I felt I could cheese it.
These guys are tough.
But I can't justify Edgelord as being
We won't last very
Hawk,
much longer.
Inquisitor, or Rook.
Look out! Richard! Damn you! You'll pay for that!
You have awakened me.
That voice.
Entrust yourself to my power.
Lambda.
Hesitate, and your friends will die.
That's a very sketchy thing, because... And it is, shall we say,
Forth.
a bit of a slippery slope to potentially find yourself on.
Asbel!
He just stopped it.
Now!
Okay, just because this is technically a boss fight, I want... Again, I know that my go-to party would have Pascal, but Pascal's not here. Wait, no, come back. I didn't see... I didn't see what... Although I do think that mode, or that boost or whatever, that is exclusive to Asbel. No one else gets that, I don't think. At least I don't think. Oh my god. Like, I could be very wrong about that, but I don't think anyone else gets that. Holy fuck bucket! And again, I'm like at level 72. I swear to God, is this... I didn't think this game had a scaling system. It shouldn't. Like, again, I do not like games that implement scaling with your leveling. Because, yes, I get that conceptually it means that you're never overpowered, so the game's always a challenge. But then what's the fucking point of fighting and leveling up, you know?
Sometimes I can't help but regret the past.
Asbel.
Why didn't I push harder for a raise in my allowance?
What?
Again, I really hate that victory line. It just feels very out of place for Asbel's character at this point in the story.
Asbel, what just happened?
It was Lambda's power.
Lambda?
At least we were able to kill some of the monsters.
Yeah, that should cut down on the number of attacks.
For like an hour.
I don't understand why these things are so strong.
I wish Pascal had come. I'm sure she could figure out something.
Pascal's living rent-free in Hubert's brain right now.
Perhaps. But there's nothing we can do about it now. Let's move out.
Asbel, are you okay? Did Lambda... you know...
Yeah, I'm fine, Sharia. Really.
Is he saying anything?
No, he's dormant again.
Really?
Yes.
There is one thing I should warn you about from my time with Lambda.
What is it?
Listen and listen well. No matter what happens, no matter how much Lambda pleads, you must not
Must not what?
play I Spy.
I Spy? What? You mean the kids game? Lambda actually plays
Lambda's a kid, you moron.
I got you. But knowing you, Asbel, I wouldn't be surprised if you two actually got that close.
that? Thanks, Richard. I'll ask Lambda for a game next time.
No, you won't.
Is that Asbel or is that a Richard weapon? I don't actually know. Yeah, I'm equipping it. Are we back under the bridge at Windor? Also, how do I get that? I want those treasure chests and you're taunting me. Oh. Because yeah, that panel, that console from over there, that looked like the one under the bridge, Windor Bridge. Then again, I guess it would stand to reason that since this is under Barona Castle, it might be connected, you know?
What's that?
What's this? What's that? What's that? What's that? There's something in the air.
That looks like Pascal's communicator.
Hold on, I'll get it.
That's the first, like, clear look we've gotten at that little
It's
bird.
from Pascal, all right.
Likely some pathetic excuse about why she missed the boat.
Yeah, you're really obsessed, my boy.
She says Sophie is with her.
Asbel, what's going on?
Well, the truth is,
So she dreads the day we all pass away, and she's left behind.
That's so sad.
Was there anything else Pascal mentioned?
Yes. She also asked us to come to the Amarcian Enclave. She didn't give any specifics, but she wants to tell us something about Fodra.
is that right?
Well, it's good timing if nothing else. We need to talk about the monsters anyway.
I suppose we should head straight for the Enclave.
Lieutenant, the President has requested that you return to Strata and present him with a full report.
Basically,
Hubert, are you sure you should be ignoring the president like that?
Yes, I'm sure it's fine. My subordinate can make the report as clearly as I.
you're
It
just
looks
trying
like someone is eager to see Pascal again.
Oh, what? I'll thank you to keep such ungentlemanly suggestions to yourself.
Are you turning down the President's daughter because of Pascal?
Wait, what's going on?
Nothing's going on. Come on, let's go. Hurry up.
And yes, that Hubert is in love with Pascal.
Hubert, I get all fluttery when you fix upon me with those puppy dog eyes.
I assure you that I was not looking at you, Captain.
Of course. Then it must be my communicator. If you'd also like to have one of these, I'm sure Pascal can whip something up.
Huh?
Let's send her a message right now.
No! Captain, wait! Please stop!
What? Don't you want one?
The mere thought of having to receive that woman's gibberish-filled reports makes me tremble in fear.
Are you sure you're not trembling with
Makes
anticipation?
him tremble in fear. Got it. Message sent.
Why did you do that?
Just kidding.
Captain!
Keep your guard.
That was hardly worth dirtying my blade.
I really do not like the way this particular sword looks for Asbel. It's too gaudy, it's too look at me, and that's just not really Asbel's character. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know he's wearing like a bright white coat or whatever, but I know, I'm not a fan. It's just, I do think the stat increase is better.
I'm so surprised you're still a bachelor, Captain.
Yeah, especially at your age.
Was that necessary?
I mean, you don't have a girlfriend?
No.
What a waste. Any girl would be thrilled to have someone like you.
Oh? So, Sharia, will you go out with me?
Huh? Captain, you can't be... not Sharia.
I'm sorry. I have to go.
The women who claim you're a catch are always the ones who throw you back.
Captain Malik, I can't believe...
Relax, it was just a joke. Now go chase after her.
Yes, sir.
Thanks to those two, I can't help but remember. Even now, I taste the lilac liqueur we drank when we were both stationed at the same Velenik hotel. How I'd love just one more drink, Aurelia.
Yeah, I guess they don't truly know the full story behind Malik, so yeah, it would make sense why they would think the good nature ribbing would be okay, you know? Wait, that still counts as a... Yeah, that's a town.
Hey, look!
Hi, Poisson.
It's Poisson.
Hello, everyone. We've been expecting you.
Where are Sophie and Pascal?
They're off visiting the Fendel Glacier ruins.
We come all this way and she isn't here. That is so like her.
What are they doing at the ruins?
Fendel has soldiers stationed there, but they've suddenly gone quiet. We fear that monsters may have forced their way inside.
So Pascal and Sophie went there to see if they could help.
Then we'd better follow them.
Sorry, just since we're here, I want to check the inn's request to see if I've picked up anything that they require.
So, this is Pascal's home, is it? The Amarcian Enclave.
This is your first time visiting?
Yes, what a strange city. It's in the middle of a snowy mountain, but it isn't cold at all. And such advanced infrastructure. Amarcian technology never
Yeah, how do they
ceases
keep
to
everything
amaze.
warm? Because that would be seriously beneficial for Fendel as
If
a whole.
only our country had access to their knowledge.
I think it should be available for the entire world to share.
I must propose that to Chancellor Eigen at our next leadership summit. Putting that aside, have you properly introduced yourself to your future friends and family?
My future family? What do you mean?
Pascal's friends and family, of course. This would be a good opportunity to go and say hello to them, don't you think?
What?
Pascal's friends? I already took care of that.
What? Who told you to... Why would you...
Was that wrong? Pascal's always helping us out, so I told her friends how much we appreciate her.
Oh, so that's what you meant. For a moment there, I thought you'd done me a favor.
Wait, how did I become the bad guy?
It looks like they're down near the Valkanus.
We should hurry.
And Chariot, you should probably put on some pants. Huh. I wonder if... Well, no, we've seen some chests stay empty. So I really don't think it's like every... I really don't think it's every, that's what I'm looking for. I don't think every chest in the game is reset with new loot. Just some of them have.
Keep your guard.
Got something on toast. I like me some toast.
Let's keep moving.
Keep your guard.
Okay, death to the damned! Come forward, kill! Let's end this! Beast Blaster! Eat this! Eat this! Let's end this!
I love the animation of Asbel just, you know, doing all those kicks. Just, it looks funny to me, and kind of love it.
I can't believe our baby Hubert got so strong.
Oh yeah, I guess I should kind of look at everyone's titles. Also, I can probably put Malik back in the party for a bit. Yeah, I want the indignation. Again, if it's anything like indignation from Tales Symphonia, I want Sharia to learn that ability.
Keep your guard.
Diabolic rage! Death to the damned! You're gone! Demon Bang! Gotcha! Demon Bang!
Remedy, for this human judgment, I serve to protect. This'll be a breeze.
Diabolic rage! Death to the damned! It's over! Shining blade of triumph! Lunar Requiem!
Okay, I need to check Asbel's titles again, because I swear I should have access to a new Mystic art now, because I know Asbel gets a new one in this arc, with now that he has access to Lambda's power, but it didn't activate. Alright, let me... Well, I don't have access to it yet. Maybe I'll get the title for it a little later. This is definitely unfortunate. Because like I said, the dungeons for the most part are a little better designed in this, but we do have to revisit a lot of old areas. So and since even if some of the chests have reset, not all the puzzles have reset. None of the puzzles have reset, which on the one hand it makes backtracking a little nicer. On the other hand, it does kind of make part of the journey just something of a slog, you know? We just lost Richard. That's no good. Oh crap. I've got... No, no, no. Not the all divide. Damn it. Fucking pisses me off. I only get so many all divides. It's fine. No, it's not fine. I'm angry. I'm very angry.
Your sword skills are amazing.
Thanks. I'll use them.
Because I haven't saved since all the way back at the Amarcian Enclave, and I did not want to go backtrack that far.
This won't take long.
Alright. I know I should probably fight, just so I'm not horribly underleveled, but I'm also a busy individual. I don't have too much time left to keep streaming this evening, since my evening streams are always a little less. I don't always have as much time as I'd like. Let's just say that. 'Cause I've still got work in the morning. I've still got work in the morning. I've still got to make my lunch for tomorrow. Huh. Yeah, oh, wait. No, duh. It does explain why... why some of the weapons I did get are actually just as good, if not better, because they were from those big, juicy boss guys, you know? So that stands to reason why some of these would not strictly be better, you know? Even though, because yeah, those were optional, harder boss fights that I had to do to get some good loot.
Keep your guard. Will never falter.
How's my mix, sir? Pretty good, actually.
This won't take long.
a boss fight coming up. I'd like to get Hubert back in the party since he's got healing and other things of the like.
She makes us come all this way and then... Ugh, what was she thinking?
Come on, are you still talking about that, Hubert? They had more urgent business to deal with than wait for us.
Well, of course I know that. And it's all the more reason for her to wait, since she knew we'd be arriving soon.
So in other words, you wanted to come swooping in and save Pascal.
No, I think Hubert just wanted to be by her side. Circumstances be damned.
Wrong, wrong, wrong. I'm just trying to understand why she goes off half-cocked at the slightest provocation. How can someone so smart behave like such a fool?
He's worried about her.
He is.
What is up with those two?
Asbel, you're such an oblivious himbo. That's right, yeah, her staff is also gone.
What is with this thing?
Sophie, gotcha.
It's strong.
You sure know how to cause trouble.
You saved my life! Totally awesome! Time for a celebration! Let's party!
The party will have to wait for now.
Huh? These monsters won't go down easily. Asbel! Yeah! That was so great! That was... Lambda's power.
Okay. Yep. We're going with this party.
Everyone stay on your game!
I still don't actually know what this mode does for Asbel. It jolly well threw me over his shoulder. Unfortunate.
It's over! Shining blade of triumph!
Sometimes I can't see the value in fighting.
Hubert.
There's no profit in the enemies here. It's a waste of time.
Hey!
Okay. Didn't actually really say what it did too much, at least super clear.
That's the last of them.
I'm disappointed to find them here as well.
Have you guys fought those things before?
Well, not those things exactly, but...
We faced similar monsters in Windor. If it wasn't for Lambda's power, we'd almost certainly have perished.
So Lambda's awake now?
Yeah, it appears that way.
Well, he seems useful enough, so I guess it's okay. I mean, he worked really well against those guys.
We're trying to learn why the monsters have grown so aggressive recently. Is there anything you can tell us?
No, I'm not really a biologist or whatever. You should talk to Fourier.
Where is she now?
Well, she usually locks herself in her lab, but right now I think she's at the Amarcian Enclave. We should head back there. I want to talk to you guys about some stuff anyway.
What is Lambda doing to Asbel?
Sophie, are you okay?
It's not going to be like last time. I promise we won't have to fight. Don't worry, Sophie.
Give her a hug. I mean, I know that putting her hand on her head like that's kind of like your thing, but...
Asbel will be all right, Sophie. I know it.
Richard.
Things are different. It won't be like when I merged with Lambda. Asbel has what it takes to confront Lambda directly, without facing any repercussions. His will is strong enough to keep things in check. That's why I know he'll be okay.
I will say, unfortunately, at least in regards to when they're talking about Asbel and Lambda, he does encroach on Mary Sue territory.
I wanted you to know as much.
Thank you, Richard. And I wanted to say, I'm sorry.
For what?
For what happened 6 months ago. I thought I should apologize.
No, I am the one who needs to apologize. It was all my fault, and I'm sorry.
So, are we back to being friends?
Yes.
Then I'll be your friend too.
You too?
Sophie, this man is dangerous. Let's move away from him.
Wait, the captain is dangerous?
Oh yes, he's a wolf.
I see your majesty still has a biting sense of humor.
That was an odd fade out. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I didn't think so. It was worth a shot. It's interesting that we could warp in here, but we couldn't warp out. Or fast travel out.
Oh my gosh, Fourier! I haven't seen you in forever!
Just when I thought it was safe to relax. It looks like you brought the whole gang with you.
Listen, Fourier, we need your help.
Oh? When monsters change, it's usually due to a mutation triggered by their environment.
Sorry, but could you explain?
All creatures have the ability to adapt to changing conditions. It's what allows the species to thrive. For example, if animals from a warm climate are transported to a colder one, many of them will perish. However, the strong ones will adapt and evolve in order to survive.
So is that what's happening here?
Yes. I would assume the monsters are evolving to better meet the threat posed by humans.
So you think we're helping to make the monsters stronger?
That's what I just said, isn't it? Of course, it's just a hypothesis.
And I'm pretty sure it ends up being completely wrong.
But doesn't it usually take forever for things to evolve?
Normally, yes. Evolution is a slow process that takes several generations to unfold. But we have numerous examples of sudden mutations in monsters, especially those that live near the Valkanus. In other words, outside interference greatly increases the odds of rapid mutation. I would theorize that an unknown being is affecting them, perhaps something similar to Lambda or Lastalia. Do you think Lambda himself might be responsible?
Absolutely not.
You seem quite sure. How can you be so certain? Do you doubt my powers?
That's not what he said. Him doubting your power has nothing to do with the fact that he doubts that you're doing this.
I made a decision to exist together with you, so of course I'm going to trust you.
Did you say trust?
You lent me your power because you were trying to help. Isn't that right?
Even if true, I would do so only because you are my host vessel.
Yeah, keep acting like a edgelord who don't need no friends, Lambda.
Though I exist inside you, do not be so arrogant as to think you can control me.
I don't think that's what Asbel ever said.
I'm not trying to control you. You helped us back there. You saved our lives. I haven't thanked you yet, so thanks.
This is nonsense.
But yet it got you to back down. I wonder how long he's been out.
I don't know if Lambda influenced the mutations, but I didn't sense his power in those monsters.
If that's the case, then I think the problem might be up there.
In Fodra?
I wanted to talk to you because Fodra's been acting kind of wonky.
How do you know that? We can't see
I didn't even
Fodra.
notice until Poisson and the Overseer brought it up.
We can't
But
see
ever
Fodra
since,
from where we're at.
me and all the other Amarcians have been studying it. About 2 months ago, we found Elith gushing from a point on the surface.
Therefore, Fodra's supposedly non-functional core is showing signs of activity. If Fodra's core is in fact the source of all life, then yes, it's conceivable that the core might be promoting evolution in the monsters.
Is my sister the best or what? Okay guys, I gotta take the shuttle and zip off to Fodra.
Do you really think you'll learn something new up there?
Well, I'm sure not learning anything standing around here.
In that case, we'll go with you.
Oh hey, wait, is Stratus Valkanus still okay? Cause you know, all these crazy monsters are appearing near Valkanus.
At the very least, the president deserves to know.
Not
but
wrong.
that means a side trip to Strata.
Which is totally fine.
I'll go. But I'm not looking forward to it.
Something wrong, Hubert?
No, it's nothing.
How about we go with you? It'll be a lot easier than going alone.
All right. But please try not to cause any trouble.
Aw, you look down, little bro. What's wrong?
Who, me? No, nothing's wrong. Leave me alone.
Jeez, fine. Sorry. No need to be so cold. Gosh.
You are being mean to Pascal, Hubert.
No, Wait, am I? But that's how I've always acted.
You never look her in the eyes.
Sophie, you are very perceptive. It's just, looking at her like that is difficult. It's hard for me to explain. I don't think I can meet her gaze at this particular moment.
Do you have a guilty conscience?
Huh? You've been talking to the captain, haven't you?
When a man has a guilty conscience, he can't look a woman in the eye, right?
Perhaps not. Not that I feel particularly guilty about anything, mind you. I hate to admit it, but sometimes even I don't understand what's wrong with me.
It's okay. Cheer up, Hubert. Sophie? You all right? If you have something to say, you shouldn't keep it inside. Pascal, I want to be human.
But you're already plenty human. Your body's just a little different is all.
No, it's more than that. I'm not like you at all. Asbel, Sharia, Hubert, Richard, Pascal, Captain Malik, you're all going to die someday. But not me. If I were a human, you couldn't leave me behind when you died. Help me, Asbel. How do I become human?
Well...
I see. It's impossible, isn't it? I'm not even capable of tears. No matter how sad I get, I can't even cry like you. I just want to be the same as you. I wish that Asbel was my father and Sharia was my mother. I wish I'd been born human with you as my family. Sophie.
Asbel, I'm not sure it's a good idea to bring her with us.
It's okay. I'll stay behind, here with Sophie. I just don't think she should travel until she's feeling a little better.
I'll stay here too. I'm totally good at cheering people up.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of are.
And you, Asbel?
It might help to come along and clear your head for a bit.
All right. I'll go to Strata.
Well, it looks like it's just the men this time.
Sharia, take care of Sophie, okay?
Who got that title? Was it Leader of Men? I'm only asking just because, again, I would like that final... I'm pretty sure it was Malik, if I'm being perfectly frank. There we go, leader of men. Yes, that gives him access to... Actually... hoping these kind of become periodically unlocked. Getting access to Excel. Oh. Maybe I want to actually finish maxing that one out. I know why I was working on Atom Flash, but fuck it. I think Shadow Steel Swarm is something new as well.
A city of water and sun. Such beauty is the pride of every Strahtan citizen.
As it should be. No matter how often I come here, I can't help but gasp at its splendor. It's like a jewel box has been upended on the sand.
A jewel box? Anyway, Verona is nothing to sneeze at either.
Ah, indeed. The ancient castles and historic neighborhoods are as pieces of a shimmering jewel box that conveys our rich history.
Jewel box
Another
metaphors.
Jewel box?
Zavhert may be lacking in traditional beauty, but neither city can match its sheer majesty.
Perhaps it is so. Zavhert is built from hard labor and workmanlike skill. A veritable jewel box boasting the artistry and craftsmanship of her designers.
Enough with the jewel box!
Asbel?
Did I say that out loud?
I mean, I'm kind of with you on that one, Asbel. They were really forcing the jewel box metaphor into the conversation hard. Alright, where is a save station? We need to call it a night. We should have called it a night back at the Amarcian Enclave, but alright, there might be one over here in the inn. Thanks you everyone for joining me for an extra stream. There's probably going to be another extra stream on Friday, and then my usual streams on the weekend. Yeah, not sure when, but I'll see you guys then. Good night.